Hello, family members. I know I look like a hot mess express. I literally can't see because I'm having some issues with my eyes, but I had to jump on, even though I don't have my normal rig or anything, to just throw in my 2 cents about Biden dropping out of the race. I'm just so relieved because I really there's a lot of things I don't agree with Biden on, but I did feel like, for the most part, he was a relatively competent president, you know, and I think that he's got good intentions. I think that he's wrong about Gaza and a lot of things, but I think that he genuinely does what he believes is right, at least most of the time. And, that's not always true of politicians. And so I think part of me was just reluctant to acknowledge the absolute obvious truth that we all saw at that horrible debate. Biden's just not up for it. Biden's not up for it. And, bless his heart, it's not his fault. He's an old man. you know Being a president is like a really really hard job. Look how it ages like everybody except for Donald Trump. I mean, like, about near killed Reagan. There was like nothing of him left after the end of his term. George W. Bush definitely aged rapidly, and so did Barack Obama. And here you take a man who's firmly elderly, Joe Biden, and put him through 4 years of that rigmarole. Like, I'm not too surprised. There's not much left in the tank there. He was kind of pitched as maybe being an intentionally one term president. But after months of pundits assuring us it's far too late in the race for someone else to come up, it just seems so impossible. I mean, but I guess it just goes from being the Biden Harris campaign to the Harris somebody else campaign, maybe. I mean, whew, that's a whole thought. Now, as far as Kamala goes, we all know, well, we should all know, that she's a former prosecutor, that she's a cop. There's a lot of things about her that she has that are negatives. But I don't doubt that she would execute the vision that is her platform. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Democratic platform is leagues better than Project 2025 or anything that any Republican politician would do at this point. So I don't I can't say that I feel uncomfortable voting for her. I'm perfectly happy to vote for her if that's what ends up happening, which, with Biden endorsing her, I would say the odds are high, but this is such a weird situation. I wouldn't want to assume anything really at this point. But my main feeling when I heard that he dropped out, when I received a text message from the fundraising people, that's how I heard. Because I get like a million texts a day from Democratic fundraisers because I donated like a couple of times. And I just kind of like seeing what they have to say. When I got that text, my first thought was just relief. Oh, like, finally, we can start working on whatever comes next. Because it felt like we were in sort of this weird holding pattern. It just didn't seem feasible that the campaign could go forward after that debate performance. Like, if I don't doubt that Biden is going to be able to finish out his term reasonably well and competently. But 4 years from now, after that debate it's hard to believe that man is up for another 4 years of like one of the hardest jobs in the world, if you take it seriously. If you're not, you know. Some people. But gosh. Yeah. Yeah, this is huge. This is I mean, it's going to take a while for the dust to settle here, but I feel like we've been sitting here waiting for the dust to start being spread, so to speak. We've been waiting for that other shoe to drop. And you can't start dealing with what comes next until you start the process of acknowledging that it's not going to be Biden and Trump. And you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are going to be relieved that that's the case. It's just who they're going to slot in that's going to feel better to people. Do you think Harris is really it? I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. Now, when I told my goddaughter, her first response was, ooh, woman of color, that's great. But she doesn't know anything about Kamala, like, I don't know. I think she's fallen under the radar enough that they might have a little trouble demonizing her the way that they did with Hillary Clinton, to be clear. But, misogynists and racists are going to come out like crazy. But, are people going to be motivated in opposition to that for Harris? That's what I wonder. Oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But I am relieved. I'm nervous and worried about who fills the ticket. But I feel like this was a step that was necessary, and I'm glad that Biden had the sense to do it. That's another sign to me that he had the judgment to be a competent president for this term. That he had the sense to understand that he had to stop. So, thank you, Joe Biden, for making that tough decision and for doing a lot of things well during your presidency. I think you need to change policy on Gaza immediately. I mean, this is your last job ever, so, you don't have to worry about long-term repercussions on you personally. So now you got nothing to lose, buddy. Go big. And energize your base by giving them lots and lots of wonderful things that you can't be held politically responsible for, because there is no political tomorrow for you, buddy. Let's see it. I don't expect that, but it'd be nice. Oh my gosh, this is... I don't know. I feel so good knowing that we finally got this step taken. Because Lord knows there's going to be a lot more steps along the way. But hey, we're here. Well, family members, I'm going to stop rambling at you. I don't know if I said much of substance in this, but boy, I'm just glad. Thank goodness. Love yourselves. Take care of your people. Take care of your pets. Here's Leslie. Leslie! Not very cooperative, sorry.